A warm welcome to you. This is Ogtv News. I am Bukola Agbakiso. First, the highlights. Federal government restates commitment to Naira for crude policy. Wife of Ogun State Governor Bamidele Abiodun sensitizes women on importance of MR vaccines. Nigerian government promotes policy reforms for cancer research and implementation. China retaliates with 84% tariffs on U.S. goods as Trump's trade war escalates.
News. Nigeria signals economic growth. Records $6.83 billion payment balance surplus in 2024. Do join me later for more details. I am Adibola Oshomoji.
And leading sports bulletin tonight. Nigeria's Flying Eagle to finalize under 20 African Cup of Nations training camp in Egypt. I'll bring you the details of this and other stories from the world of sport. I am Sheyalao Tongawe.
Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. You can watch us live on Facebook at Ogtv and Ogtv Television, YouTube at Ogtv Abeokuta, and on Ogtv website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and reports, check us on these platforms: X at Ogtv, Instagram at Ogtv Television, or download Ogtv app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. Now the details of the news. The federal government has confirmed the crude and refined product sales in Naira initiative remains a standing national policy and will continue indefinitely. However, the policy will stay in place as long as it serves the public interest and supports Nigeria's broader economic goals. This assurance was contained in the official ex-handle of the Federal Ministry of Finance amid growing inquiries on the status of the policy. The ministry stated the initiative, first approved by the Federal Executive Council, is a long-term strategic directive and not a short-term or provisional measure. According to the ministry, stakeholders have reconvened to reiterate their full support and ongoing commitment to ensuring the successful implementation of the initiative. The policy, which mandates the transaction for crude oil and refined petroleum products in Naira, is aimed at strengthening the country's economic sovereignty, enhancing local refining capacity, and stabilizing the foreign exchange market by reducing the demand for dollars in domestic petroleum transactions. The federal government has launched a training program for 120 young researchers aimed at enhancing their capacity for cancer research and evidence-based implementation in Nigeria. The project, Strengthening Institutional Capacity for Cancer Research and Implementation on SINCA, is designed to build sustainable institutional and human resources to address critical gaps in cancer research. It will also promote policy reforms and foster collaborative networks to improve cancer outcome nationwide. During the opening ceremony in Abuja, Professor Usman Aliyu, Director General of the National Institute for Cancer Research and Treatment, emphasized that the project was focused on empowering young researchers. He added that the project was also preparing Nigeria for the development of new cancer interventions. Aliyu pointed out that Nigeria was facing a shortage of oncology researchers and noted that African countries contributed less than 1% to global clinical trials, which were vital for developing new cancer therapies. In back home now, a one-day sensitization program on measles and rubella vaccines has been held in Ogun State. Leading the campaign in the state is the wife of Ogun State Governor, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun, who revealed that the program is the beginning of a multi-layered approach to sensitizing people across the state ahead of the rollout of measures in rubella vaccines in the state. Our reporter, Margaret Okunlola, was at the June 12 Cultural Center, Kuto, Abeokuta. A report.
According to the World Health Organization, measles remains one of the leading causes of death among children under 5 in Nigeria. Another concern is rubella, a highly contagious disease often mistaken for measles, but with more devastating consequences, including lifelong disabilities such as blindness, deafness, heart defects, and neurological disorders. To tackle this dual threat, the Nigeria Governors Spouses Forum has introduced the combined measles rubella vaccine, with implementation through the wives of state governors. In Ogun State, Mrs. Bamidele Abiodun serves as a state ambassador. Mrs. Abiodun noted that the sensitization program aims to raise awareness, prevent potential outbreaks, increase vaccine uptake, and combat misinformation at the grassroots.
Let us make the health of our children our highest priority. We should all embrace this vaccine and educate those around us about the importance. Let us also raise an awareness, counter misinformation, and ensure that no child is left behind.
The initiative is in collaboration with the Center for Well-Being and Integrated Nutrition Solutions. Hence, the presence of the Southwest Zonal Consultant, Pharmacist Temitope Oji.
So that a whole generation of children can be protected from diseases such as the congenital rubella syndrome, which is something that can occur in children when their mothers, when they're pregnant, contract rubella. Ogun State's performance in the routine immunization schedule has been exceptional.
Stakeholders in the health sector, members of the Spouses of Ogun State Government's Functionaries Association, SOSFA, commissioners in the state, as well as representatives of traditional and religious institutions, civil society organizations, women leaders, pregnant women, and nursing mothers all applauded the initiative.
The vaccine is very safe, it's effective, and has been proven to significantly reduce the incidence of illnesses.
I want to urge all parents, guardians, and everyone present to please ensure that all their children get fully vaccinated.
We are pledging our full support in mobilizing grassroots participation, ensuring widespread vaccines, acceptance, and collaborating with health stakeholders to eliminate measles and rubella from our communities.
If they bring the program, so we go out and take the vaccine.
I also inform my neighbors, my friends to go for it.
Gifts were presented to nursing and expectant mothers present. Chairman of the Association of Local Governments of Nigeria, who doubles as the chairman of Odeda Local Government, Honorable Shade Adeyemo, was also decorated as an MR vaccine ambassador. The vaccination campaign is set to commence in October 2025, targeting children aged 9 months to 14 years. Margaret Okunlola, Ogtv News.
And still on health, more than 500 residents of Ota Awori land and surrounding areas in Adodo, Ota local government of Ogun State, have benefited from a free medical outreach organized by former staff of Chief Jide Taiwo. The initiative was held to commemorate the real estate mogul's 75th birthday anniversary. The outreach took place at the palace of the Olota of Ota Awori land. Binga Adekoya's report is presented in this package.
The free medical outreach, spearheaded by former employees of Chief Jide Taiwo, aimed to bring essential health care services closer to the people of Ota Awori land as part of his 75th birthday celebrations. Residents from various quarters of Ota turned out in large numbers, accessing free medical consultations, diagnostic tests, medications, and eyeglasses. Organizers of the outreach urged well-to-do individuals in the society to contribute to their communities, emphasizing that the government alone cannot meet all healthcare needs.
We are holding this program in honor of our mentor, our father,
ESV Chief Jide Taiwo, the principal partner of Jide Taiwo & Co., under whom we all worked and served before we started our own private practice.
He's a valuable member of the society. He's raised here in Otta. He has a lot of value for this town. His eyes are here, his mind is still here, his heart is still here, and he's proud of what we are doing today.
We just our own little way of appreciating the remarkable roles Chief Jide Taiwo & Co. played in shaping the futures and career of USC surveyors and valuers. We have to come down to Otta, his hometown, to give this medical outreach for the people.
Beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the organizers and offered prayers for the celebrant, Chief Jide Taiwo.
People to sit down and think this is the best way to celebrate someone body rather than going a party and some other things. A lot of people benefited a lot. Their sickness, they don't have way out, but they heard about it, they have to come over. At least they'll be given a lot of treatment in which they didn't pay couple. Even at the end of the day, they are giving them minerals and some other things. If people are, I want to drink, I want to drink.
The birthday festivities will conclude on Thursday, April 10th, with a special event at Yaradua Hall, Victoria Island, Lagos.
On legislative matters now, the Ogun State House of Assembly has screened nominees for statutory commissions whose names were earlier forwarded by the State Governor, Prince Dakbo Abiodun. The Speaker, Right Honorable Udaisi Elemide, led the exercise and charged the nominees to redouble their efforts towards quality service delivery for the people of the state. Correspondent Kolawole Osho has details in this package.
Nominees for various statutory commissions in Ogun State have appeared before the State House of Assembly for screening and confirmation following their nomination by Governor Dapo Abiodun. Among those screened were former members of the House, including Speaker of the 8th Assembly, Right Honorable Suraj Ishola Adekunbi, nominated as Chairman of the House of Assembly Service Commission. The lawmakers thoroughly scrutinized the nominees' credentials and engaged them with relevant questions to assess their competence and readiness to serve. Lawmakers commended the governor for the quality of nominees presented, urging them to implement impactful policies and programs that would enhance the well-being of Ogun residents. The Assembly also emphasized the importance of synergy between the commissions and relevant House committees to ensure effective governance. The Speaker, Right Honorable Udaisi Elemide, charged the nominees to remain committed to quality service delivery and resist any influence that may hinder the state's progress. He further stressed the need for collaboration between the executive and the legislature through various commissions.
You have been doing it. You want to see more. You want to see better production. And we want to see your actions on our share management. You have done a lot. We have had peace in our local governments. We want to further have the peace, and we want more collaboration and synergy with the House here and with the government. We will need to be, if you are clear, we will need to be working together from time to time.
In their responses, the nominees appreciated the confidence reposed in them and pledged to consolidate on the achievements of the Dapo Abiodun-led administration. They assured the lawmakers of their readiness to work closely with the legislature and key stakeholders to deliver development-oriented policies and programs.
In continuation of the ongoing 2023 audit exercise, Ogun State House of Assembly has considered the financial report of the State Property and Investment Corporation (OPIC) with a directive to the management team to submit some additional financial documents to aid the operations of the committee. The chairman asked Committee on Public Accounts and Anti-Corruption, Honorable Bello Damilare, directed the management team led by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Housing, Farouk Adenuba, to ensure the submission of the explanatory documents on roads and bridges, procurement process, other maintenance services, insurance premium, internally generated revenue (IGR), sales of residential housing units, plot allocation and layout fees in the period under review. The committee also directed the corporation to furnish the cash inflow and outflow of the corporation to the Office of the Auditor General for further scrutiny and record verification. Also, the committee also examined the financial records of the State Ministry of Environment as presented by the Director, Planning, Research and Statistics, Kayode Akinwande, directing that the ministry ensure the submission of additional documents to provide more explanation on environmental impact assessment fees, zoos, park and reserves, as well as other fines among its revenue aid. Responding, the Special Advisor Housing, Farouk Adenuba, and the Director, PRS, State Ministry of Environment, Kayode Akinwande, assured of submitting the documents within record time. In another development, the Speaker played oath to the management team of the Federal College of Education, Abeokuta, led by its Provost, Dr. Rafiu Adekola Shoyele, with commendation on the infrastructure drive and academic improvement of the institution. Inspector General of Police orders deployment of tactical squads assets to crisis-prone areas in Plateau State. More news and reports when we return. Don't go away. If you're just joining us, this is Ogtv's comprehensive news package. The news continues. Over 9 billion naira has been proposed by the executive chairman of Obafemi Owode local government area of Ogun State, additional Ogunshola, as the appropriation bill for the year 2025. The budget is tagged Budget for Growth and Sustainable Development. According to additional Ogunshola, the appropriation bill will be guided by the principles of transparency, equity, and commitment to delivering impactful development across the local government area. Ayodeji Tomori Oluwumi reports.
A delegation from Obafemi Owode local government, led by Chairman Additional Ogunshola, embarked on an inspection tour of various ongoing projects within the local government area. Among the projects visited were the construction of 2 blocks of 10 classrooms in Maba and 600-meter road rehabilitation project leading to Obafemi Owode local government secretariat. The team also visited the ongoing construction of a police station in Orile-Imo, a project initiated through community effort.
We embark on it primarily to secure our people and to complement the efforts of this administration.
The road too bad everywhere, inside water. The road too bad, and we really thank God. I appreciate for what they do for us.
A number of people believe that governments do not deserve any trust. You know, they make promises which they don't keep. And I think this is a testimony to the contrary, that going forward, you know, we continue to build confidence in the government because he has delivered this.
At the local government secretariat, the newly rehabilitated Obafemi Owode Legislative Chamber was officially commissioned.
I will not lie to you, my chairman is just there. It's wonderful. And I give it to the governor for giving us honorable additional back. You know, he's doing a wonderful job. Yeah, you know, it's just wonderful.
Considering me as a legislator, coming to commission a project like this for the legislators, it is encouraging, it is applaud. I applaud him for doing all this.
During the session, Additional Ogunshola presented the 2025 appropriation bill, totaling 9,069,142,699 naira to the legislative arm.
I now present the proposed 2025 appropriation bill with the team budgets of growth and sustainable development. This estimate is a people-oriented business plan relying on transparency, equity, and developmental impact.
The responsibility is now on the members of this honorable house to do the needful, and I assure you that we will meticulously perform our constitutional duty.
The budget is aimed at driving the realization of people-oriented projects across the council area. Ayodeji Tomori Olumi, Ogtv News.
In a bid to achieve food sufficiency in Ogun State and position it as a major agricultural hub in Nigeria, the Ogun State Economic Transformation Project, Ogtv, in collaboration with other stakeholders, visited Ofointedo in Ikpokia local government area to flag off the harvest of 200 hectares of cassava cultivated by 80 farmers, supported by the Ogun State government. Toyin Ogundepo's report is presented in this package.
As part of the efforts to empower smallholder farmers and enhance food security in Ogun State, the Ogun State Economic Transformation Project, Ogtv, in collaboration with the stakeholders, visited Ifotedo in Ikpokia local government to officially flag off the harvest of 200 hectares of cassava farmland allocated to 80 farmers in the area. Stakeholders present at the event include representatives from Ogtv, the International Business for Agricultural Development, top government officials, and members of the farming community. In a keynote address delivered on behalf of the Governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, the State Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Security, Honorable Bolu Otomo, stated that the initiative aims to increase food production and improve the livelihoods of farmers across the state.
Ikpokia local government today, where 80 farmers are harvesting 80 hectares of cassava farm. This farm has been supported fully by the Ogun State government, end to end. That is, they got 65% discount when it came to land clearing. They got 50% discount when it came to their cassava stem. They also got 50% discount in terms of herbicide, pesticide, and fertilizer. Having done all that, we also ensured that we linked all these 80 farmers with off-takers. We did all this to ensure that they do not record any post-harvest losses. As we are harvesting their farm today, we are expecting each of these farmers to be able to earn at least 2.4 million naira from their harvest.
Stakeholders commended the initiative, highlighting its potential to address critical challenges faced by farmers while promoting growth in agricultural productivity.
As we are seeing, the first plow, second plow, arrow, among others, the project paid 65% of the cost as grant. So the farmer only paid 35%. And for all the inputs used, fertilizer, chemicals, among others, the project paid 50% of the cost of the fertilizer, so the farmers only paid 50%. And in addition to that, one of the major challenges facing agriculture in Nigeria is the problem of market, where to sell to. One thing we have done is to also link them to off-takers. Those that will take whatever they are getting from this almost immediately from them. The market is guaranteed.
When it comes to area of empowerment, those who are not farmers are shipped out. Those who are farmers are the ones who empower for this program.
Honorable Otomo reiterated the commitment of the state government to boosting food production and encouraged more farmers to participate in the program, emphasizing the importance of collaborative efforts in transforming the state's agricultural sector.
Over 5,000 partisan farmers have benefited from an empowerment program facilitated by the senator representing Ogun West Senatorial District, Senator Solomon Adiola. The initiative, tagged Renewed Hope Agriculture Initiatives for Food Security, was held at the Ashade Aguloye Pavilion in Ilaru, Ogun State. Ayodeji Tomori Olumi reports.
This empowerment initiative marks yet another milestone by Senator Solomon Adiola aimed at supporting rural farmers across Ogun West Senatorial District. The program, under the Renewed Hope Agriculture Initiatives for Food Security, featured the distribution of modern farming equipment and agricultural inputs to beneficiaries.
This is massive. I've seen empowerment. I've never seen this kind of empowerment.
I would like to appreciate him very, very, very much for giving us this opportunity to have this thing as for farmers.
Designed to rekindle interest in agriculture, the initiative aims to position farming as a key solution to nation's food insecurity challenges.
The recent tariff imposed by President Donald Trump of the United States on many countries, including Nigeria, it is highly important that Nigeria becomes self-sufficient in terms of food production and agriculture.
Everybody knows that there is hunger in the country, and this is the solution to the hunger.
The introduction of mechanization is very, very important. It increases our production.
What Etadela is doing is basically in line with Ashwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Renew Hope program on food security.
In his address, Senator Solomon Adiola congratulated the beneficiaries and reaffirmed his commitment to supporting the administrations of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Governor Dapo Abiodun in driving grassroots development.
A major highlight of the renewed hope agenda on agriculture of Mr. President is the drive to endure all year-round farming with the target for 3 farming seasons annually. Similarly, our Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun CON, has complemented the initiative of the federal level with a robust implementation of various assistance to farmers to produce massive on my part as your representative and pursuance of the renewed hope agenda, and to complement the work of the performing governor, Prince Abiodun, and will continue to facilitate projects in the area of infrastructural development, educational advancement, accessible and affordable health care, as well as security of lives and property.
A total of 5,910 farmers drawn from Ogun West Senatorial District and neighboring regions participated in a 3-day intensive training facilitated by agricultural experts and institutions. In addition to the tools and inputs, each farmer received a cash grant of 100,000 naira as financial support to boost their agricultural activities. Ayodeji Tomori Olurumi, Ogtv News.
And away from that, the Nigerian Army has taken its recruitment drive to Ogun State with a sensitization campaign aimed at encouraging more young Nigerians to enlist. The campaign, which brought together community leaders, government representatives, and youth, focused on enlightening the public about the benefits and opportunities within the Nigerian Army. Nkem Ago reports.
The Nigerian Army has launched a sensitization and public enlightenment campaign in Ogun State, aimed at encouraging eligible youths to take advantage of the ongoing nationwide recruitment exercise. Representing the Governor of Ogun State, the Special Assistant on Security Matters, B.U. Dubote, commended the initiative and appreciated the attendees. He urged the youth not to only apply, but also spread the word about the opportunity to serve in the Nigerian Army.
You know, there's so much insecurity in Nigeria, and everybody, every aspect, region or aspect of the country, they are to face their own security challenges in their own certain area.
In their various goodwill messages delivered by invited guests, he highlighted the benefits of joining the army and encouraged the young people to consider it a noble path of service and discipline.
They can always apply for study leave to go and enlighten themselves, to go and get certificates. I know because I witnessed it live. Soldiers now apply for study leave, and they are granted most of the time, depending on the situation. They are granted and they go to school to get more education. So opportunity work to shield.
Speaking on behalf of the Army Headquarters, Department of Personnel Management, Brigadier General Adegoke Adetu sensitized the audience, including youth, community leaders, parents, traditional rulers, and government officials, on the importance of supporting and promoting military recruitment.
Because of the apathy, because our people are running away from it,
they don't want to do it, despite the fact that there are no other means of livelihood readily available. They will not take advantage of this. But we must keep in that 6,000. So what do you think will happen?
The Nigerian Army called on youths of Ogun State to seize the opportunity and contribute meaningfully to national security and development. The event featured interactive session where youths asked questions, voiced their concerns, and received clarification about the recruitment process. Nkem Agu, Ogtv News.
The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has ordered the immediate and comprehensive deployment of police tactical assets to crisis-prone areas in Plateau State. Egbetokun specifically tasked Deputy Inspector General of Police, Kwazi Yakubu, in charge of the Department of Operations, to lead and coordinate this critical intervention with significant reinforcements. These, he said, include additional units of highly trained tactical personnel, state-of-the-art drones for enhanced surveillance, armored personnel carriers, units of the police mobile force, helicopters and specialized platoons from the Special Intervention Squad. A statement by Force spokesperson Olumuyiwa Adejobi, an Assistant Commissioner of Police, said the deployment is the police's response to the deeply troubling series of attacks and killings that have plagued some Plateau State communities since March 28, 2025. According to him, this decisive action underscores the Nigerian police force's resolve to restore peace, ensure the safety and security of all residents, and bring perpetrators of these heinous crimes to justice. He said these resources will be strategically deployed to conduct special operations aimed at effectively curbing incessant attacks in Boko's local government area and surrounding communities, which have tragically resulted in the loss of innocent lives. He stated that the recent escalation of violence began on March 28, 2025, when armed assailants launched a brutal attack in Bokos, resulting in death and serious injuries. Citizens have been urged to collaborate with security agencies at all levels to rid the country of criminal elements within the state. This was the summary of security stakeholders at the two-day leadership retreat organized by the Police Community Relations Committee at the Community Civic Center, Igbesa, Ogun State. Simiata Barrow reports.
The popular saying, security is everybody's business, underscores the need for collective responsibility in safeguarding the nation. It was in recognition of this that the leadership of the Nigerian Police Force established the Police Community Relations Committee, PCRC, in 1984, aimed at fostering stronger partnerships between the police and the communities they serve. Fast forward to today, the Ogun State Command of the PCRC convened at the Community Civic Center, Oba Adeshola Road, Igbesa, Ogun State, bringing together key security stakeholders to brainstorm on practical solutions to Nigeria's persistent security challenges.
This year we're taking the three aspects of the law: the Nigerian Constitution, the Criminal Code, and the Police Act.
Security experts, law enforcement officers, and community leaders shared their unique experiences, highlighting best practices and addressing critical principles within the security ecosystem.
You see something, say something, and do something fast. You are the eye of the police in the different communities where you stay.
Ignorance of the law is no excuse. The first thing is that the knowledge of the law is accessible.
Some of our civic duties as citizens is to ensure that we know the law of our community.
Participants, mainly PCRC members from across the state, turned out in large numbers, eager to gain insight from seasoned professionals dissecting the theme and sub-themes of this year's retreat.
Out of the report from all the officials, because by flashing torchlight is an offense, and there are so many laws that we didn't know that we take ignorance of.
The fourth edition of the PCRC Leadership Retreat under the leadership of the Ogun State Chairman, Venerable Samson Pokuola, was not only impactful but also celebratory. Key security stakeholders were honored with awards and gifts in appreciation of their unwavering service. Indeed, as the law recognizes no ignorance, platforms such as this retreat remain vital in enhancing security awareness and responsibility at all levels. Simiat Abaru, Ogtv News.
Business News is next with Adebola Oshomoji when we return. To stay with us. Glad to have you on the business segment of the news. The Nigerian economy shows a sign of growth. At the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, announced a balance of payment surplus of $6.83 billion for the 2024 financial year. The development marks a decisive turnaround from deficit of $3.34 billion in 2023 and $3.32 billion in 2022. A statement released by the Apex Bank on Wednesday said the improvement reflects the impact of wide-ranging macroeconomic reforms, stronger trade performance, and renewed investor confidence in Nigeria's economy. On the export side, gas exports rose by 48.3% to $8.66 billion, and non-oil exports increased by 24.6% to $7.46 billion. The federal government has announced that it could generate over $200 billion annually through the regulation and licenses of space activities. Chief Uche Naji, the Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, disclosed this during a one-day sensitization and stakeholders engagement workshop on space regulation, spectrum management, and licensing on Tuesday in Abuja. The workshop, which was organized by the National Space Research and Development Agency, marked a significant step towards shaping a competitive space industry in Nigeria. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has said that personnel remittance inflows rose to $20.93 billion in 2024, reflecting an 8.9% increase year-on-year. This was contained in a statement issued by the Apex Bank while announcing a balance of payment surplus of $6.83 billion for the 2024 financial year. The figure marks a significant turnaround from deficit of $3.34 billion and $3.32 billion recorded in 2023 and 2022, respectively. The CBN said the improvement was due to a mix of macroeconomic reforms, stronger trade performance, and renewed investor confidence. The Board of Directors of the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development has approved a combined financing package of €230 million and $10 million to boost socio-economic growth and regional development across West Africa. This was disclosed in a statement issued by the bank following the conclusion of its 91st Ordinary Board meeting held under the chairmanship of Dr. George Ayekom Donko, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of EBID. EBID is the financial arm of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The bank provides long-term financing for both public and private sector projects across the 15 ECOWAS member states. This latest disbursement are part of EBID's ongoing effort to mobilize capital for transformative projects, especially in underfunded sectors across West Africa. And lastly, on the business segment of the news, U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order raising duties on small packages sent from China from 30 to 90%, a move likely to disrupt the imports of popular low-cost products. Trump raised the duty on low-value imports from China due to go into effect from May 2, alongside a major increase in tariffs imposed on Chinese goods from 34 to 84%, according to the White House order released. Trump signed an order last week canceling the duty-free exemption from goods from China valued at $800 or below. The rule has faced heavy scrutiny as U.S. officials pointed to the growth of Chinese-founded online retailers, Shein and Temu, as a factor behind the surge of shipment using the exemption in recent years. And that ends the business segment of the news. Over to Bukola for the rest of our bulletin. Just stay with us.
Thanks, Adebola. Now to the foreign segment of the news. China will impose 84% tariffs on U.S. imports, up from 34%. The Finance Ministry said hours after similar levies by the United States came into force. And at least 29 Palestinians have been killed in an Israeli airstrike on a multi-story residential building in the east of Gaza City. Let's join Theophilus Green for more details on the foreign scene.
China will impose 84% tariffs on U.S. imports.